Hello, guys and gals, and this is Vlog Friday, and it is episode 31. It is episode 31 of Vlog Friday. So, as always, we always discuss some topic beforehand. And, yeah. I had a really good topic thought out, but then I didn't, do it, and then I totally slipped my mind. So, I'm not sure exactly what topic we should talk about right now. One thing that I really like to drive home is the necessity for one to be themselves. It's easy to conform to society and be what they want to be, and sometimes that isn't what you want to be. I mean, there are opposing viewpoints and worldviews that might seem wrong. And maybe you are of the viewpoint that might seem to be wrong. But we're going to go over that a little bit, and I will clarify. It's really easy to fall into a stereotypical role, I guess. And it can be devastating to not be yourself. For example, it's easy to basically have an opposing view to a prevailing worldview, and that can lead to guilt and all kinds of other things, and it can keep you from being who you are. Okay, we're gonna go out and say it. Anyways, one example is maybe your sexuality doesn't exactly fit with those around you. Of the people around you. But you really should still be who you really are. It isn't really good or healthy to be repressed and closeted, to be honest. And it can basically lead to some other worse things. I do know that not being yourself can actually lead to depression and other disorders and conditions, and sometimes it can even lead to death, as I know that a few people that have actually committed suicide, and that's not the way you want to go out. You should always embrace who you are, even if it doesn't fit the prevailing worldview. And it's good to see that things are kind of moving forward, where it's getting more and more acceptable to be who you are. Anyways, we are going to go more about that later, if I remember, but we are going to go over this first. Being repressed and stuff like that, not being true to who you are, can lead to depression, and one of the ways to actually cope with the symptoms, I'm going to say symptoms here because it doesn't speak, or it doesn't help the overall core problem. One of the things that helps, though, is to do something you enjoy at least once a day. Make sure it's something legal, and that can be like watching a movie you enjoy, or if it's within your nutritional wheelhouse, eating a sweet treat or something like that. You always have to take into account your necessary dietary situation. Like if you're a diabetic, you shouldn't be eating sugar. And if you have celiac disease, then you shouldn't be eating gluten. So you really need to be careful about that. But yeah, you really need to treat yourself to a treat at least once a day. And it can help basically with the symptoms of depression. Number 2 is there is always someone who cares. And that is always something to take into account. It can be easy to forget that sometimes, but yeah. Even in this society where there's lots of social media, there's social platforms, you can have millions of followers and friends on these social platforms. You can still feel alone, and you can actually feel insignificant, even more so. But there's always someone who cares, and that is always something to remember, and it can also bring hope. We live in an impersonal society, I believe, and it's really easy to feel like no one cares. but it's always good to know that someone always does. Number 3 is, if you are suffering from an affliction, there is no shame in seeking help. And I'm mainly saying this because I know that it is possible to treat depression, with diet, meditation, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I admire people that can do that without the need of medication. Some people can't cope without medication. And there used to be a social stigma attached to mental illness, and that has basically fallen by the wayside, thankfully. I hope, anyways. And so there's really no shame in seeking help if you need it. You should be able to live a well-adjusted life. Anyways, but yeah, I know that some mental conditions like paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar, you have to take medication in order just to cope. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if the medication is purely legal, doctor prescribed and stuff like that, there's no shame at all in taking medication to feel better. But I do admire the people who can basically handle their depression without the need of medication. It is quite an undertaking. Number 4 is, no matter how bad things get, there's always hope. And this again goes back to positive thinking and having hope, even in dire situations, is basically necessary for life. It's easy to lose hope sometimes, especially if a situation is especially bad, but you should always hold on to hope even in the bad times. And that's easier said than done. I realize that. But hope is one of the sustaining factors, and it can basically turn the tide if you are having a bad day. Anyways, I don't know what else to say about this. I might speak more on this later. Number 5 is, societal labels and tags are pointless. People are people, and that's easy to forget sometimes. Sometimes somebody might do something to make us angry, and we can forget that they are only human, just like you, the watcher, is only human as well. Basically, regardless of the color of someone's skin, regardless of someone's sexuality, regardless of someone's religious beliefs, people are going to be people regardless, deep down. And it can be easy to maybe judge someone harshly or harsher depending on a societal tag. I personally find societal tags and labels to be pointless and basically harmful to a certain extent. When you label someone a certain way without really knowing them, then it puts them into a box that they don't exactly fit in, and basically is really unfair to them and to you, because you probably might miss out on making a really cool friend. Let's get rid of societal tags, because they tend to do more harm than good and can lead to civil unrest. 6 is, be yourself. There will never be another you. And this is really important too. There really isn't too much problem with imitation these days, with someone trying to be someone else just to be popular. The most popular people on YouTube or on social platforms are themselves. I mean, and people realize that and embrace them for who they are. So you should be yourself as well. Even if your worldview kind of clashes with somebody else's, you should still be yourself. There's no shame in being who you are or embracing who you are. But yeah, you're basically, there will never be someone else exactly like you with the same tastes as you or the same thoughts or worldviews as you. So you should really embrace that and basically embrace how unique you are. Number 7 is our last one. Always think positive thoughts, and that is really important as well. It's always important to think positive thoughts, and I don't mean sarcastically, like I'm positive this is going to be a bad day. No, genuinely believing and having positive thoughts can basically increase your health, increase your let me try that again. Positive thoughts. There have been studies shown that positive thinking can increase your health, add years onto your life, increase your attitude, and it only has positive benefits. It isn't always easy to think positive thoughts, especially in bad times, but positive thoughts really do have a positive impact on your life. And so, yeah, have positive thoughts. Anyways, I hope that was helpful to at least one person. If you found this helpful, then make sure you like and subscribe. If you like this content, that is, and want to see more. Also, if you want to support me in any way or join the Discord server, all that information is in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.